Hey everybody, this is M from DIYM, and today, as you can see, we're doing bath bombs, but we're not actually making the bath bombs itself, we're actually painting on them, which I think is a really cool activity to do. I think that this is a really fun thing to do if you just want a fun day with your friends, or you're doing a cool spa day and you want to do some fun activities making self-care items. This is a really quick one, really fun one. You can set up a table really easily. I would say just put some plastic down or something like that and set up. I'm going to show you what we need for this in just a moment. Yeah, set up a little area with a whole bunch of different colors and stuff if you want to mix that yourself, and then let people go to town painting bath bombs. It's super duper fun, easy. If you get the right stuff, it shouldn't be that difficult to do. You could probably do it with kids, but not really young kids, because they probably shouldn't be, say, eating this stuff, obviously. If you're doing it with older kids that understand they're not supposed to be eating this stuff, then yeah, I think that the kids might have a blast. It might be a really fun thing for, say, teenagers to do. Honestly, a lot of different types of people can totally do this, I feel. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how to do this. I thought it was a really fun activity to do. On to the video. Okay, for this, you're going to need some bath bombs, whether you pick them up at a store. So I got these guys from the dollar store. So you can definitely do that. It may seem like a cop-out or something, but if you're pressed for time or you don't feel like making a bunch of bath bombs, they can take a while to make. They can take a few days depending on if they work or not too. So especially if you want to make a ton of them, maybe you want to make some for a party, it's just going to be a lot of time to make it. If you do want to DIY it all the way, say you want to make some big ones or egg-shaped ones or something like that to do this particular idea, you can either find your favorite recipe on making bath bombs, or I can link the link down below for the one that I've used for another video, which I'm also going to link down below. So I had made bath bombs in an egg bath bomb video where I actually stuck some glow-in-the-dark dinosaurs inside for kids, so I'm going to link that down below because I'm probably going to be referencing that anyways in this video a little bit. But so yeah, I would say get some sort of bath bombs, either make it yourself or get some. I haven't opened this up yet, this is all close, but there's 6 bath bombs in here. I got this from the dollar store. They're pre-made, pre-scented. I think they have some colors in there. It's mostly white though. You can get some somewhat darker colors, I guess. There were some green ones. I wanted to work with white just so that things could show up a little bit more on them, but I thought this would be nice too for if you want to give them away for birthdays and things like that as well. I'm going to re-shrink wrap these when we're done. So I'm going to open this up right now just so we can take a look at them a little bit closer. I'm pretty sure those shrink wrapped. Yeah. So, oh, it's a very strong scent of birthday cake. But yeah, you can sort of see a few tiny little, I don't know if they put sprinkles or something like that in here or what, but I want to make it a little bit more prominent that there's sprinkles in here, or maybe do some rainbow effects. We'll see what we decide to do. But I wanted a few of these just in case, just to show you a few different techniques, and also just in case I screw up or something. So anyways, you're going to need a bath bomb. You're going to need some sort of mica powder. These are specifically ones I bought from Amazon for the bath bomb video that I originally made that I said I'm going to link down below. So I have those mica powders. They're specifically for bath bombs, so they should work for something like this. So there's mica powders that you need. I'm going to use my 99% alcohol. So I was told by, I can't remember what YouTuber it was. I looked up a few different YouTubers. The main YouTuber that I found for a lot of this information was, I'm going to link her link down below as well. I don't think I got this information from her though, but her name's Emily Leffler. It's not the same spelling as my name. My name's Emily with a Y. She's Emily with an IE. So another DIYM person. But anyways, she gave a lot of really good information in her video. As I said, I'm going to link it down below. But there's another video that somebody said that if you use 99% alcohol, it has less water in it. So number one, it'll evaporate quicker so that it won't activate the bath bomb when you're painting on it. The less water, the better. But you want something to be kind of wet when you're painting on, right? So if you use rubbing alcohol, the 99% version, that's probably the best one you could possibly use to make this DIY happen a little bit easier. So this is kind of a cool DIY if maybe you're throwing a spa day party and you want to do a cute, fun activity that's really easy to do. You can buy a ton of these bath bombs and then you can use them for the party and then mix up a whole bunch of colors and people can paint their own designs on these bath bombs. But I would say, as I said, use the 99% alcohol with that. Get some brushes that are soft bristles. Make sure that they're soft and not stiff or hard. Sometimes paintbrushes will have starches in them, so just break those starches. Make sure they're fairly soft. It's a little easier to work with and hold a lot more liquid. So I'm kind of want some thinner ones mostly, just to do some smaller designs. But you can definitely use thicker paintbrushes. Like if you want to put down a lot of color, they're good for that. The less you paint on here, the better. So there's that too. So definitely get those paintbrushes. I'm just using clear cups just so you guys can see a little bit better what I'm doing, just to mix the colors. Another thing that I'm going to do first before I actually break into this stuff is I'm going to lay down a surface so that things don't get too messy, because things can get totally messy. And I'm also going to get some parchment paper to use as a palette. Emily Leffler used parchment paper as a palette just to see how transparent or how thick the color was being put down before, and she was using it as a practice sheet almost, just before she actually went on the bath bomb as well. So I'm going to do that as well. I think there's ways of airbrushing the bath bombs too. I don't have an airbrush tool, but you can definitely do stuff like that as well. I've seen people do, or spray things on if you want a lot of color coming down on it. I'm going to try to maybe do at least 3 different colors and see where it can go from there. Maybe I can mix up other colors as well, just when I overlap stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, I got some parchment paper here as a palette, also just another surface to work on. I have some press and seal here. So I took this out of its packaging. It is a little bit powdery, and the smell is incredibly strong in comparison to how it was when it was in the seal. So if you do want to make stuff yourself, that definitely helps you control obviously the color, but it also controls the scent if you don't want such a strong scent for a bath bomb to give to somebody. Just letting you guys know that that's a thing. So what I want to do is I want to make 3 different colors, mainly yellow, blue, and pink, because you can make a whole bunch of different colors just with these. So I'm going to try to do that. So I have my spray bottle here of the 99% alcohol. So what you normally have to do if you're talking about ratios, 1:2 ratios. So it's basically 1 of the mica powder and then 2 of the rubbing alcohol. So say you're doing teaspoons, so it's 1 teaspoon of those mica powder and 2 teaspoons of rubbing alcohol. So I might eyeball this a little bit though, just because I don't feel like measuring specifically. I only have so much powder. So what I might do is I might just work by spraying. I'm just gonna dump a little bit into these cups and then just spray it with the rubbing alcohol, and then just mix it with my brushes and then see what color comes out of that. Okay, and then if you want to, you can have some paper towel to also work with rubbing off your brushes and all that sort of stuff, or you can just wash things off as well. So all these mica powders are fine for going down the drain, obviously, because they're specifically made for bath bombs. There are some glitters and things like that that also aren't great for the environment, so try to get stuff that's either specifically edible glitter or specifically bath bombs and soaps. Okay, so I'm going to try to pour just a little bit of this out. I'm trying to just do a little bit at a time, and then I can just do some spraying and see what happens there. So just a little bit of gold mica powder. Just gonna try to spray that down and see when I mix it, see what happens. I think I might have to spray it a bit more. And I can always put more mica powder in there. I feel like I'm not really working with a lot here. Oh, see, look at that. That looks nice. Okay, so that's a nice consistency. So I'm just going to take some of this on my little brush, and I'm just gonna do little strokes. So I want this to look more like sprinkles on a birthday cake all over. So just do it really quickly so that the thing doesn't fizz up, okay? And I've seen people do heart shapes and all sorts of other stuff. If you want to do that, that's perfectly fine too. It looks almost like a lollipop situation, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna wash my brush. But yeah, it's really pretty, eh? It's nice sparkles too. It's gonna look nice, and it's gonna add a nice fun touch to your bath bombs. It's such an easy thing to do. As I said, you can do it for birthday parties, you can do it for spa parties, all sorts of fun stuff like that. And I just think it looks really extra special and really pretty. So if you're wetting your brushes just to wash them off, you might wanna try to dry them the best you can as well. Because as I said, you're working with 99% alcohol, but you want things to be very, very dry, right? So I'm going to try to keep this brush going, but yeah, I'm going to make sure that the tip is very dry when I'm using it. Okay, so I'm going to do the pink next. Just a bit of that mica powder. Just going to spray that down. And again, I'm just going to do a nice practice. So that looks like I need a little bit more mica, potentially. See if I can add a little bit more. You can sort of adjust that way if you want. I think I just put a little bit too much rubbing alcohol, but that's okay. I'm just gonna see if I can thicken that up a little bit with my mica. See the pigment there? It's so much nicer than this pigment. There we go. I think that's a little bit darker, and that's quite nice. Okay. And I want it to look a little bit more like birthday sprinkles, so it doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. I'm gonna have some blue going on. So I'm just gonna do that. I think it's gonna look nice with the 3 different colors. Okay, so I'm just gonna wash that off again. I'm just taking a paper towel, I'm just making sure that this brush is very dry as much as I can. It's fun because it has this nice shimmer to it. It's so pretty. But yeah, this is a really, really fun activity, and you can do way more elaborate than birthday cake sprinkles, and I'm going to show you that. I'm just going to pour some blue mica powder. Okay, let's see if that does anything. If I need to add more mica, I will. I think that looks pretty. That looks really pretty. Okay. Oops, that's a little squiggly. The best thing to do is to try to not get it to fizz too much. Okay, so just put down the color as quickly as you possibly can. I think that looks so pretty, and you can totally mix some of these colors. You can make purple, some orange, or you can even do like a green. I just like these colors right now. I think that they're really pretty. I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. But yeah, so that to me looks super pretty. And then I'm going to put that aside to dry. Just gonna wash this off again. So I think working with smaller brushes can actually be a good thing. I'm gonna break open another one just to show you can do some more elaborate stuff. Well, this is a nice pink already on there. I'm gonna try to work with this big blob of pink over here. It's really pretty. I'm gonna do kind of like a flower design. A rose. And this is probably going to make a purple, but I'm going to use this as a bit of an outline. This is how I used to make roses when I was a kid. I'd do this, and then I'd just do kind of like an outline, like that, and then a little swirl. A delicate swirl like that. So I'm kind of doing reverse coloring here, laying down some pink, and then I'm just going to do that. So I might just do a bouquet situation, and then I'm going to add some green afterwards, I think. So I'm going to wash this. I'm going to see if I can mix some colors here. Add some very liquidy color down here, and then see if I can make a purple. Probably should have just put a little bit more pink in there. So if you can get a proper palette, that might be better. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna just make a few little flowers here. I might even just do something that looks like an outline. Do that really quickly. So it looks like different flower designs like that. I'm gonna wash this off again. I'm gonna see if I can go with, this looks like it's drying in here a bit, so let's see if I can do a little bit more gold mica. I don't want to go too crazy with it. There we go. Just do a little more gold. Add and take away just to see what kind of colors are happening here. Okay, so I do like that. Just want to do some centers to these flowers. There we go. And then another thing that I want to do is add a little bit of this blue. So I'm just going to mix the two to create a green. That's coming in a little too hot there. That's okay, we'll just do that. So basically just going to create some stems coming down here. And then we'll just make a leaf. If you want, you can fill it in. But yeah, see, you can do a lot more elaborate designs if you want to. In order to make hearts, you can watch the other video that I linked down below, but it's basically just making a V. I would say watch it because she does a really good job at showcasing that tutorial. But she basically just uses V's in order to do that. So anyways, you can totally do this on both sides if you want, or just one side, whatever you'd like to do. But that's nice in case somebody likes bouquets or flowers or something. You can even put it in a flower pot. That might be kind of a fun little design that you could play with. Yeah, I don't know. I think that really turned out kind of cute. And if you want to, you can even outline. I'm just gonna take some of this, just do some, just to make it look more leaf-like. I'm going to grab some from here too. Kind of drying up a bit here. Okay, you can do some outlines. You can do it with black pigments as well. I'm just doing it with the blue because it's just out here and it's easy enough to do. But yeah, you don't even have to do the outline of the stem if you don't want to, but I'm just gonna outline it once basically with this blue. Just on one side. You really don't have to do what I'm doing. And if you don't want to, I don't know if I'm gonna ruin it or what's happening here. It almost gives it a shadowy effect. But yeah, you can even go way more elaborate than this if you wanted to, right? I might even, I like the fact that these are purple flowers, but maybe I want to do the blue outline on these guys as well. Just make them stand out a little bit more and look almost more flowery. You really don't have to go this elaborate though. This is just me being silly. I kind of want to do more of a daisy thing over here, so I think I'm going to leave that and let the colors from the original bath bomb fill that in. Ooh. You can make them rainbow, you can do all sorts of fun, cool stuff. As I said, you could do it elaborate, not so elaborate. I'm going to do another one. I'll just do a couple for fun, right? With another easy technique. I'm going to just take this guy. I'm going to put these guys aside for a second. I'm going to do a rainbow situation happening here. So I'm going to start with yellow. And then I'm going to wash this and dry this off really well. Try to get the handle a bit too. You can get whatever you want here. I'm going to get a little bit of this pink. Just use what I can here. And I'm going to go right beside it. That rinses right off with regular water. You don't have to get soap if you don't want to. I'm going to do the blue next. And you can do way more colors than this. I'm just doing this right now. So I'm going to do that. And then also with the blue, I'm going to just get a bit more if I can with a smaller brush here. And just do a cloud outline. So you can do some pretty cute designs that are simple and elaborate, whatever you'd like to do. And this is just with 3 colors. You can do way more colors than this if you want to. Oops, I might just... You don't have to do that necessarily, what I just did, but I'm just trying to use up whatever I've got here. Might just do a little bit more of a spray here, whatever color I have left here. I could actually add more if I wanted to, but I'm just gonna see what I can do here. It's very dry. So yeah, you can go as elaborate as you want, or you can make it very simple if you'd like. Okay, so I'm probably going to rinse out these cups because I want to reuse them, and it's not going to take much to rinse those out. Anyways, 3 really cute designs, some simple, some elaborate. As I said, you can probably even go even more elaborate than this over here, but really, really fun. So next, I'm going to let these dry. Oh, I forgot to mention that you can also do a splattery effect with your paintbrush. You can just splatter. The Emily girl goes into it with a lot more detail, I feel, and she just shows it just to show you a good method on how to flick things. I personally just didn't want to go that messy with stuff. I kind of wanted to make stuff a little bit more controlled. But yeah, you can definitely use a splatter method. As I said, you can even spray it. I would say check the link down below if you want to explore other options on designs and things like that. But yeah, I think I'm going to do just one more. I'll do that next. I won't show you guys. I'll show you guys afterwards when I'm wrapping stuff up. Okay, so I made this guy here. I basically put some hearts on it and some blue circles and some gold stars. So just kind of with similar techniques that you saw today and also in the other video. I just did things really, really quickly. So I just thought that this would be a fun random pattern. This also kind of looks like sprinkles in a sense, right? But just more fancy sprinkles than these guys. So it's nice for the birthday cake sense. So what I'm going to do now is put them in these tiny bags that are specifically for bath bombs. I'm going to see if I can try to link links down below for this, but this is also something that you can just heat up and shrink wrap. So I have my heat gun here. Came from this package, an embossing heat tool. I got this forever ago, so don't think I can easily find this, so I might just link down below some sort of heating tool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick these guys in here. If you want to, you can tape this up. Put these guys aside for now. I'm going to see what I can do for heating this up. I'm going to shrink this down. I'm just going to press this in. It looks like some of the pigments kind of got in there though. I'm gonna let these guys dry a little bit more just because the pigments look like they weren't fully dry. I don't know, let's just double check. And yeah, see, some of the pigments are coming off. Okay, so I'm going to leave it. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna let them dry a little bit longer and then I'm gonna just wrap those things up. Okay, I thought I could do it a little bit quicker than I thought, so I guess they're not as dry as I thought. Okay, so I've let them dry for a while, but I think that the blue pigment is probably the strongest here. I'm just gonna crumple up some paper around it and then just release it and see if that gets some of the pigment off, because it's just a lot of the blue pigment and I just don't want it to be spreading around too much. I'm not gonna mush it around or anything. I just want to take some of that powdered pigment off. It's basically turned into a powder at this point in time. Because I smudged it a bit on here, I might end up taking this and doing a little test. Okay, alright, so I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna do this one next, I think. I'm gonna actually try to put this on the seam. You can, if you've got one of those heat tools that clamps down, that might actually help seal things a little bit better than sellotape, but I don't really have one of those. But anyways, let's try this. So there's that guy. Still pretty cute. Gonna do this guy now. Okay, we're gonna do another one. You may want to put gloves on or something. Yeah, so again, it's just mostly the blue. The powder comes off on there, but I'm sure it's fine when you open it up. Okay, so this is the most elaborate one, and I kind of am the most worried about it, but let me see. Really hot, as usual. Wah! Just trying to squish it down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so I might open this one up just because I don't really love that and how that turned out, but I'm going to show you what that looks like in the water. Okay, so I'm just going to move these guys aside here. Try not to get them wet because I want to try to test this guy out here. So I'm going to cut this open. Oh, it actually looks nice straight out of the package. Almost hate to do this, but anyways, I'm going to just put it in here. You can sort of see some of the mica coming off. And it's fizzing quite a bit. Oh, it's actually not that rainbowy, surprisingly. That's actually shocking. I thought it was going to be producing a ton of pigments in the bath water. Wow, it actually doesn't. It's a little bit, you can see some of the gold and stuff and some of the blue. I don't see much of the pink though, but you can see some of the pretty sparkles on top of the water, which is kind of cool. I thought this would actually have quite a bit of it. It's actually not as fizzy as I thought it was going to be, this bath bomb. It is disintegrating. You can see some fizzing happening here, some cool fizzing. It smells really good though. I think this is really nice on your skin too. It's supposed to be nice and moisturizing. This looks like a crater now, eh? It's so cool. It doesn't disintegrate that easily in the center, which is fascinating. It's kind of a slow process for this particular bath bomb. I'm kind of trying to help it out a little bit. But yeah, if you guys have a recipe that you'd rather do that makes things really fizzy, you can definitely do that. If you're going to make these guys at your spa day party, you might want to leave a lot of hours aside because it might take a while for them to actually harden and stuff so you can paint on them. So I would say maybe make a bunch of bath bombs ahead of time, unless you just want to make bath bombs and you don't feel like painting, or you want to do a couple days worth of bath bomb making. You can totally do that too. Yeah, so the water's pretty clear. There's some sparkles in the water, but it's pretty decent. It's not too bad. My hands feel very moisturized, to be honest. This is a very moisturizing bath bomb. Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that. That's it. Okay, so here's the other bath bombs minus that one that we just tested out. I really like that one too. It's too bad that we tested it out, but that's okay. I like all of these guys. I think that they all turned out really cute, with the exception of just a little bit of the powder coming off of it when you're packaging it. Yeah, I think that they're really, really fun. I mean, there's different ways of packaging, obviously, but this is kind of standard protection for bath bombs if you want to get shrink wrap bags. But yeah, if you want to, you can always put it in some sort of pouch or something like that, or you can even get another bag and just sort of tie a ribbon around it and maybe put some instructions and ingredients on the back. So there's that. Also, I think I've seen people put tissue around them or fabric. There's a few different ways of doing it. So I would say do your research if you want to package it in different ways. You can definitely look. There's different ways to do that online. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you guys like that. I think it's a really fun little activity to do. So if you like that, please give me a like and subscribe if if you haven't yet, if you are into watching stuff like this or other fun different crafts for gifts to give people, or even just cool little activities like this, that's basically what I like to showcase on my channel. If you think somebody else is going to like this, please share the video. You can obviously give this away as birthday presents, Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, weddings. It would be cool to, if you actually made it yourself and you put something inside, you can even do engagement rings. I like the fact that you can hide something inside these things and give that extra gift inside a gift, nice little surprise. Obviously hide stuff in there that is waterproof and small, that can easily go in there. Stuff that's appropriate, I guess, for bath bombs is a good thing to hide in there. And if you're doing a ring, you might want to wrap it in something, a little baggie or something like that to make it extra waterproof, and then stick it inside something like this. But yeah, I really like the fact that they're just a really fun little thing that you can quickly paint. Like, everybody sort of paints candles these days as a fun little activity to do with their friends. If you're doing a spa day, why not use this as an activity to paint, tell people how to do this real quick, but just paint on little bath bombs. And as I said, you can get as elaborate or as simple as you want, but it's a nice quick activity to do for everybody. Anyways, I hope you guys like that. I hope you all have an amazing day. Take care, everybody. Okay, bye.